Inspired living is real people taking care of real moms and dads. Holistic caring, guided foremost by the desire to connect each resident's mind, body, and spirit. And here to tell us more is Bethany Brown, Associate Strategy Specialist at Inspired Living. It's nice to see you. It's so nice to be in person.
I know, I've missed being in person with people.
So we're obviously taking precautions, plexiglass distancing, and we both feel comfortable.
Yep.
Okay, good.
This is great.
So let's begin. What is your role in the organization?
As the Associate Strategy Specialist, I focus on helping the leaders develop programs and training for our associates, our employees, so that they are trained experts in caring for individuals as they age. As by trade, I'm a nurse practitioner. My background has been in employee health, occupational health, safety, teaching employees, training on the job, essentials to where they're safe at their job and they have the best culture. So what I love about what I get to do at Inspired Living is help train them also in the clinical background. Assisted living is in an interesting environment where we don't want to feel clinical. We need to be prepared for clinical, but it's your home. It's our residents' home. Right. So we need to be experts on clinical, but it's also hospitality, and we want to make sure that they're trained to handle situations in a hospitable way.
Obviously, everybody's been dealing with COVID, and we know that assisted living facilities have been impacted quite a bit. How have you and your facilities been dealing with this?
Well, first, I'm so proud of our administrative team. We call ourselves the home office or the community support center, not corporate, but so fast. We were getting PPE to all of our communities before it was even required. We put in a UV light cabinet in all of our communities to wear cell phones, goggles. If you couldn't get a new pair of goggles, you could sterilize your goggles before the next shift. Wipes. Toilet paper, I mean, just things that we never thought that we would need in our day-to-day, and we jumped on it so fast and made sure that we were loud in the community to make sure that they knew what we were doing. So I mentioned the UV lights. We had the fog cleaning to where we could clean those hard-to-reach surfaces and enhance the cleaning processes that we already had in place. You may have seen in social media, we had hug booths for our family members, which was the hardest thing to watch, Nancy. It was for families to not be able to go see one another.
My gosh, yes.
So after we had been in that state for a little while, we were able to create hug booths outside and watch our loved ones be reunited with their loved ones.
And that just has to give them so much joy.
It was magical to watch.
And increase,
Yeah, it really was. So we cared for our associates, we put in safety precautions for our residents, and really had to train our associates how to be PPE experts in a really fast amount of time. So I'm so proud of them and how they jumped at it from top down. Leadership all the way to all levels of associates really became experts on safety.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, how does Inspired Living prioritize the aging process?
So in assisted living, we are governed by certain regulatory requirements of things that you have to teach. You have to teach associates X and Y by X date of employment. And what we're so proud at Inspired Living is we teach above and beyond in your very first 3 days. So the first 3 days, no matter what your role is, from housekeeper to dining to nurse to director, you're learning all about how to care for somebody as they age, and just the devastation of memory loss and how to remember the person while you're caring for them. It's really, who wouldn't want the people surrounding them in their home to all understand what they're going through?
Absolutely.
So we really prioritize that this is their home and we come to it every day. They're not hanging out at our workplace. We are coming to their home every day. And it's in our tagline, we care for moms and dads. So we try to make it personal. All of us have someone in our life that is aging.
Yes.
You can put your foot in their shoes so easily. So that's what we try to do. And I'm really proud of them.
Now, what trend are you seeing in the senior care process?
Nutrition. We, more so than ever before, with internet at our fingertips and more information about healthy nutrition, our residents come in knowing healthy nutrition, knowing what is healthy and what is good for them. They also know what looks good and what doesn't look good. So we partner with experts. We partner with Sodexo, and they're experts in dietitian prepared, or not prepared, but dietitian certified, reviewed meals. So we meet the regulatory requirements, but then we elevate it. Presentation is wonderful. Even just how your dining experience should feel is wonderful. That might be the only activity you wanted to participate in that day. So why not make your meal wonderful?
Right.
But then also acknowledging that the aging process and aging gracefully, sometimes you lose the skills to grab a fork or to cut with a knife. So we do a really nice job of putting brain foods, power foods, quinoa, special vegetables, making them to where you can eat them without having to use a knife and a fork and all of these things. So you might see somebody eating their fruit cup in an ice cream cone. So they still feel like they have dignity at the table.
Absolutely.
And that's really important to us, that food and fellowship is where all of us can feel connected. So why not prolong that experience for them as much as possible?
What would be your one tip for folks out there tuning in to age gracefully?
My husband's going to laugh at me because this is my dream to say on TV: exercise. If we can all find our one thing to do and enjoy it for as long as we can, objects in motion stay in motion. And if we aren't, aging is inevitable, and if we don't keep our bodies in motion, it's only going to get harder.
Exactly.
So it's good for your brain health, your joints, your blood sugar, your heart health, your mental health, and that would be my one thing, that everyone should find what they want to do.
Everyone should do it. Starting young.
That's right.
It just gets harder when you get older, so it's better to start when you're young.
There's never a perfect time.
There you go. Now, where can our viewers find more information about you?
Yes, inspiredliving.care. I have a bio on there, but inspiredliving.care is where I would go. You can look at the contacts, call the home office, you can call and talk to somebody, but that's where I would go, is inspiredliving.care.
Great. Well, thank you, Bethany, for being here
Yes,
today.
it was a pleasure.
Thank you. Coming up after the break, we learn how red light therapy can help you burn stubborn fat.